morning, everybody. We're in the middle of a storm here. Well, certainly a whole load of wind gusting at 54 miles an hour, apparently. But the sun is starting to peek through the rain clouds. So we have a beautiful mix of sun energy, but also that floating, fierce energy of a storm as well. So I thought I'd capture some of that into our yoga practice this morning. So we're going to start in standing. We're going to take hold of that strong energy. So take a moment to establish your Tadasana. Draw your attention to your feet and really notice your feet, but without looking down. So that idea of having eyes in the sole of your feet. Maybe you rock a little forwards and back, finding the front and the backs of your feet. Perhaps a little side to side motion. Really feeling into all the edges of the feet. And maybe that turns into a few little circles in one direction and then the other direction until you really find your still center. Lift the toes and gently place them back down one toe at a time so that your weight is evenly distributed between the base of the big toe, the little toe, and the heels. Draw your energy up through your legs. Maybe you draw your navel back to your spine, find your Uddiyana Bandha, and keep the shoulders open and wide. A smile through the collarbones. The chin parallel to the earth. We're going to come into our sun salutation, so ignore me coming to the front of my mat, you come to the front of yours. And we'll take a big breath in, and as we do, feel our energies lifting our arms above our head. Keep the navel drawn back to the spine and bend forward from the hips. Maybe you keep the knees a little soft as you come all the way down. And as you find your forward fold, and let the head and the neck relax. We'll use another in-breath to come up halfway. Finding a flat back, tucking the chin. Exhale to roll back down and find our hands on the floor. Step back with one foot, then the other, and find your plank or your half plank. We're going to hold here in stillness for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as it's our first vinyasa of the morning, we're going to all drop our knees, our chest, our chin, untuck our toes. Bring our forehead to the ground. Take a deep breath in, roll the shoulders and rise up to your cobra. So we're activating through the back, lengthening the front body. Keep the neck long. And push back through tabletop. Tuck the toes, roll the sit bones over the heels, and however you get there, find your dog. Really push away from the hands. Maybe you pedal your dog out. Maybe you find a couple of breaths of exquisite stillness. Bending the knees, looking forward. Step, skip to the front of the mat. Inhale, come up halfway, flat back, keep the neck in line with the rest of the spine. Exhale to fold. And inhale, coming all the way to the top. Taking up space as we bring our palms together. Exhale to heart center. We're going to take that 2 more times. So inhale, float the hands up and overhead, upward salute. Draw that navel back to the spine and lean forward from the hips. This is a strong movement. Come all the way down to your forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. And in each shape, imagine you're moving strongly and with focus from your center. Fold back down. Bring the hands to the ground, step back to your plank or to your half plank, and we'll hold here. Breathing deeply, keep that navel tucked in towards the spine and drawn up a little towards the rib cage, creating strength through the abdomen. And you can come down as we did before, knees, chest, chin, or come forward a little on the toes and keeping the elbows in, drop through chaturanga. to the floor, and either roll your shoulders to find your cobra, lifting through the back body, or if you crave a little more, listen to the voice of wisdom, not ego, come into up dog. If you're in up dog, your knees are off the floor. We're going to meet back in downward dog. So find your way back to dog, either through tabletop or from up dog. Taking 2 deep breaths here. Looking forward, hop, step, jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, coming up to your half Uttanasana, your half forward fold, moving from the core, come down and roll all the way up. So we're welcoming and opening through the spine, taking up space as we bring our hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And our focus is really on creating expansion this morning, filling our space. Imagine that beautiful stormy wind. Inhale, lifting the arms, expanding from our center. Bringing our hands to upward salute, drawing our navel back to support our spine as we come all the way forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Find your flat back. Hold here for a breath. Exhale, drop back down. Step back, one foot, then the other. Find your plank or your half plank with your knees to the mat. And hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then coming forward to your toes, dropping gently and with control to the mat. Find your forehead on the mat. Roll your shoulders, coming up to cobra or to up dog. And then journeying back to downward dog, meeting point downward dog. Pushing away, maybe we turn our toes slightly inwards, our hands slightly outwards. Internal rotation in the thighs and hips, external rotation of the arms. Take a look forwards, hop, step, or jump. Find your forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to fold back down. And then rolling up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Move from the center, take up space as you bring your hands back overhead. Exhale to heart center. Let's come into Surya Namaskara or Sun Salutation B. So we inhale this time to float our arms upwards, but this time sink back. So we're dropping our weight into the back of our heels, dropping our sit bones back, keeping our lower back and pelvis neutral. So we're neither sticking our bottoms out or actively tucking underneath, but keeping that beautiful line along the back body. Hold here. 3, 2, 1. Exhale to drop to the floor. And take your left foot back. Drop the heel so the back foot is at 45 degrees and power from the core, from the front leg. And we're finding our warrior 1. Looking upwards to the sky and finding that beautiful strength in the feet. So eyes on the soles of the feet. Be conscious of spreading your weight actively into both feet. Exhale, bring the hands to the floor, step back to your plank or to your half plank, coming forwards, dropping through chaturanga, untucking the toes, rising up to cobra or to up dog, meeting everybody back in downward dog. This time, inhale, float the left leg, bring the knee through to the chest, step forward, drop the right heel this time. So we're finding our warrior one on the opposite side, rising up from that core, keeping the navel drawn back to the spine, keeping our energy grounded through our feet. Exhale to fold. Stepping back into our plank, pushing back to dog, rolling forwards, all the way down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, going to cobra, or up dog, finding our way to downward dog, a couple of breaths here, bending the knees, up, step, skip, to the front of the mat, and coming back up through our Uttanasana, finding strength here, rising up to the top, taking up space. Exhale, hands to heart center. My earbuds, my microphones are pesky this morning. So ignore me turning around so you can see me. So heel toe your feet slightly wider. We're going to inhale and take up lots of space, coming into our 5-pointed star. So heels, toes out, heels in, arms wide, shoulders relaxed. So imagine you're opening your heart to the sky. Find that strength through the feet. Taking a deep breath in. And then as we exhale, we're sinking down to find our goddess or our temple shape. And holding here, finding stillness in this shape, strength in the thighs, strength in the core. Inhale, rise up. 2 more. Exhale, sinking down. Holding your goddess, or maybe dropping one hand to the waist and reaching up and over, finding a side body stretch. Hi, Eddie. Inhale, back to center. Taking up space. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last time, float those arms up. Find your 5-point star. Exhale, bending elbows and knees into your goddess, your temple shape. Right hand to hip, left arm up and over this time. Inhale, back to center. And rising back up. Finding our hands on our hips, bringing our feet parallel, tucking that navel back to the spine and taking a gentle fold. Let the hands come to the feet, the head drop. A little counter stretch, opening through the hamstrings, the calves. Wide-legged standing forward fold, one of my favorite shapes. Bring your hands back to your hip. Navel draws back to spine. Hello, Eddie. One of your favorite shapes too. Rising all the way back up. And heel toe the feet a little bit together. Keep the toes out. The feet are ever so slightly wider than the hips. We'll take a deep breath in, taking up space, keeping the shoulders soft, and then starting to drop down. So we're finding our Hindi squat. Elbows against knees, knees against elbows. And remember, you can keep your heels up. In the West, we're not terribly used to this shape. So it could be a challenge. So keep your heels up if you need to. Find your hands on the ground. We'll hold here for 3 breaths. Deep breath in. Long breath out. 2 more deep breath in. This time, sigh away. Last time. And then unraveling to find yourself in a comfortable seat on the mat. Create a connection between your sit bones and that pull to the earth, and a rising flow of energy to the crown of the head. Allow that current of energy to draw the spine upwards and into a relaxed and neutral shape. Taking one final breath together, taking up space, bringing those hands up and overhead. And exhale to release, to let go, to bring our hands to heart center. From my heart to yours, Om Shanti, Namaste.